Might just go with that way the kick's in. So Officer work it off half back, about 80 metres from the goal they're defending. Kick lands between a couple, well trapped, picked up on the way through there by Horton. Goes towards the top of the square. Good courage from players coming back from both sides. Upwey Tecoma measure a neat kick out, find the target in Gamley. Gives it off quickly down the line of the wing. Mark taken by Richards West, pushing a long way up the ground. Kicked 4 goals last time these two sides met in round 2. Burrows certainly called all of the action at Linda Fernie Creek a few weeks back when they met. He was a lively prospect in that game. It goes towards half forward. I'll set it up towards dangerous position down there. Atala towards the top of the square. Officer trying to work it out. Kick smothered there on the quick snap from Pumpek, and it's worked through for a behind. So 3 minor scores to Upwey Tecoma inside the first 5 minutes of this game. One long-range shot at goal a few moments ago from Jack Mackay that they thought was a goal, but the goal umpire had other ideas. There was celebration on the bench and out on the ground for Upwey Tecoma on that occasion, but just the one behind. 6th place, 10th coming into this game, or 10th place, 6th more specifically. Snooks has the mark, goes very short, finds a target in Mibus. Short again, patient build-up, finds its way towards Ward. Ward will go into the middle of the ground, good kick, finds a target pushing into the middle in Westra. Goes towards an open forward line, kick falls well short. This is a feature of Upwey Tecoma when they're at their best. Their intercept marking has been a feature. Waterman to Smith. Hey, mate.
Just talk to your operator there. Don't go to Luke. He's running about 5 games, so he's having a trouble with 5 years. So just communicate with him.
Yeah, all good. I'm just cool. Sweet.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers. So. So they work it out wide. Mark taken here by Sheehan underneath the scoreboard. A few changes being rung already. Switch it back towards the top of the goal square. Smith will cut back. So again, they'll go to the pocket. Kick just falling a little bit short of the target. Asked a little bit there of Chesney. Goes outside. Defensive 50. Officer force a contest. They win possession. Caught. Dispossessed. Numbers there with Upwey Tecoma as they work it through by hand patiently. Maloney slides his kick wide, finds Sheehan, another possession for him. Up to the wing, now half forward, kick drops a little bit short. They don't take the mark down there, Officer, but keeping the ball in front of themselves, good pressure. Umpire giving them plenty of time to sort this out. Hand pass into the corridor, squeezing kick forward. McKay gets the hand pass. It was just a little bit too hot for the player streaking inside 50. Quach takes it out of there from Officer. Out towards the boundary line and over for a throw-in. 3 behinds is the margin at the 7.5-minute mark of this first term. About 50 to 55 metres away from the Upwey Tecoma goal. Quick snap. Just dropping short of its target in there, and West takes the mark. So Officer holding up okay. Good kick into the middle. Finds Hutton. Hutton goes towards centre half forward. Good strength in the contest there from Allen. Neat kick towards a dangerous position. And the mark is well controlled, pushing into space. There were a couple of options that could have got on the end of that. And this is Officer's first chance at goal. It's been a case of Upwey Tecoma peppering at the other end. And now Westra will shoot for his and his team's first. 8.25 minutes into this contest. 3 behinds. Upwey Tecoma's lead, but Officer here directly in front with a good look at goal. 35 to 40 metres out. And drifting left. Started on line and just faded. First minor score on the board for Officer. 3 behinds plays 1 behind. We'll head around the grounds throughout the course of the afternoon at the Gold Coast in the AFL. We'll check in there as well. The Suns lead Melbourne by 30 points in that one. We'll go through the path here for these two sides very shortly. Bit of a push in the marking contest. Gives Officer a chance again. Sets it up for a leading target, dropping into a hole there. It was Valentine, smallest player in that contest. It's hooked over the top. Officer enjoying a good little patch here for a few minutes. A lot of repeat inside 50s. Nice hand pass there from Waterman to release. They'll go up towards the wing position. And trickling away, it'll be a free kick out there to Officer as a result of that. 6th or 10th versus 6th, as we said, coming in. Only 2 games separating them. Last week, both teams competitive. Officer have it in the middle of the ground, driving to half forward. Westra couldn't quite take the mark. They have got a 3-on-1 here. Officer, if they're smart, they can share this. Horton gets the hand pass back. DeSantis chips it into a dangerous position. Good mark, good courage from Hutton. Gets into a position to take the mark about 40 metres out. Slightish angle. Decent chance again to kick there first. Last week, Officer beaten by 24 points by Linda Fernie Creek, but big last quarter there. They kicked 6 goals to 2, or 6 goals to 1 in actual fact, to close that gap substantially. DeSantis, Maloney and Seedsman kicked 3 apiece on that occasion. And we'll go through Upwey's most recent outing in a moment after this shot at goal, which looks good. That one did the opposite. Started left, faded back. First goal of the game goes to the home side. They take a 4-point advantage. 1-1-7 to 3 behinds. Ryan Hutton on the board. Upwey Tecoma losing to a very accurate Healesville last week. They had the same number of shots. Upwey 12-10-82, but Healesville 18-4. 112. Picaro and Richards West kicking 3 goals apiece. Richard West with 27 for the season, ranks 3rd in the competition. Seedsman with his 19 ranks 5th for Officer on their campaign so far. Long way behind Mullet at the top of the order though. Lovely kick inside 50. Diving attempt at the mark, just bouncing free. And he hit the ground. Would have given an opportunity there for Brent Maloney. The skipper trudging his way back to the goal square, but a boundary throw in right on 50 for Officer. Is about to hit the 10-minute mark of the opening term. They hold the slender lead at this stage. The hand pass through there from Allen was cut off by Gamley, who tried to feed it out. Good intercept here by Anthony. Goes into the pocket, becomes a battle of speed. Hand pass fed back there from Quach, gives it towards Valentine. To the top of the square, the mark is taken. And this is Cody Horton, who will get the chance directly in front. Should be a fairly straightforward kick for goal, 20 to 25 metres out. To stretch their lead. Drags it out to the right. Bad miss. 1 goal, 2. Plays 3 behinds, 5-point game. These sides met in round 2 at Upwey Tecoma. Upwey Tecoma 16-9, 105. Defeating Officer 11-6-72 on that occasion. 33-point result. Richards West kicking 4 in that game as well. But competitive enough, that game, to suggest that with Officer playing at home, and even just their general results across the board, they've had some tight defeats. We spoke about that when we covered the Gembrook game last week, that they were in a similar boat with those 5 losses by less than 2 goals, and they got the result. Streaking forward here is Upwey Tecoma. They share it around okay, looking for Oates. Comes over the top. That should have been a fairly straightforward snap, but slamming it into the timber. And 1 behind. Richards West gets his first score of the game. And they've left a couple on the table, have Upwey Tecoma so far in this first quarter. Bit of a fight back on the cards at the Gold Coast. Melbourne kicked 5 of the last 7 to cut a 43-point deficit back to 24. Very long second quarter there, 36 minutes that's gone as Officer get themselves into a bit of a tangle in the back pocket. Snook's trying to work his way out of there, and it is over for a throw-in. Upwey Tecoma. Inside 50, giving themselves a chance at goal. They've had control of the early part of the game, then lost their footing around the ball for about 5 minutes. They've now got a free kick in a dangerous position. Sheehan's already had quite a bit of the footy in the early part of this game. Not the easiest kick. Will try to measure something short, just telegraphed it a little bit. Gave an opportunity for Nathan Allen to come across and get an intercept in there. Snooks, who was involved before, switches across defensive 50 to Marks, who does just that. Chips it further afield. They'll drive a long ball to it down towards Seedsman. He's had 19 goals for the season, including 3 last week. Chipping kick into the middle of the ground is a good one. Finds Atala, brings the kick wider. Murray. Option over the top by hand is his captain in Costas, further afield. And they have an opportunity here via Waters. Waters will chip it over the top. It's through the hands, kept alive. And tackled over for a boundary throw in. 12 and a quarter minutes in this term. Here for Healesville Greyhounds, and all of the action on the Petters suspension and breaks scoreboard. Ball tossed back into play. 35 or so metres around from goal. Another repeat stoppage inside 50 for Upwey Tecoma. Sheehan this time lays the tackle. Opposite get the kick away towards Horton, who takes a good mark on the vertical leap. That's Sam. Pushed to all to the one side of the ground. Goes towards their target in Westra. One back there by Smith. Dinky kick goes back to Horton, who takes another mark. So a few in this quarter. Chips it short. That's a good ball. Finds Ward. Ward short, just the required. Finds Quatch. Whose nickname is his surname, it seems. Allen. Good hard running wide here that should be rewarded, and it will be. West takes the mark. 60 metres from home. And they find a target. Pokes that in short. Gets its way to Allen. Shorter again. Sets the kick up to the pocket, looking for Horton, who's been good in the air. Officer have it at the fall. Poking kicks a good one. Finds Cody Horton, receiving from Marks. So Cody Horton, tricky kick. Side leading this game by 4 points. Sets it up to the goal square. Quatch trying to mark that. Probably the smallest player in the contest. It comes out here towards Gamley. Into the middle of the ground. Should come back again. A bit of a half volley down there for Anthony. Couldn't trap it. Upwey Tecoma work it down towards the wing. Good hand pass fed towards Picaro. Picaro curls the kick back, but no one at home there. An uncontested mark in plenty of space. Now Mibus will gather. Can straighten up. Let's take ground. Had a couple of options. Kick just pulled wide and over for a throw in. Good front and centre there from Horton, although dispossessed. Maloney drives the kick inside 50, bit of a nudge against Richards West in that contest. Free kick will go down there on the last line of defence to Officer in the 16th minute of this term. Look at the only goal on the board, 1-2-8. Plays 4 behinds. Slightly risky kick out. West got a hand to it, though, to prevent the turnover, although eventually Mackay goes into the pocket. Plenty of carry on the kick, and I think it landed on the chalk, so it'll be a throw-in. Quick snap, drags away to the left. Gave themselves half a chance on the kick. And one behind only. 5 behinds on the board. Been a wasteful opening term so far for the visitors. Approaching 17 minutes in the term. Long ball down the middle. Houghton climbed high, couldn't take the mark. Fight for it at the full with Waterman. And the umpire will call for a bounce. We'll give you the around the ground scores at quarter time and then throughout the game of the other matches across both divisions in the Outer East. So far, pretty decent conditions for footy if the rain does stay away, as the kick from Officer drifts out of bounds on the full far side. Kicks turn towards half forward, had too much carry on it. Officer not in a great hurry to bring that in, although there might have been a bit of a nudge down there in that marking contest, just carrying him underneath the ball there. Jack Mackay has been pretty good in the early part of the game. He was the one that had that shot that they felt was a goal earlier. Wasn't called as such. Goes to his partner in crime in Richards West on the lead into some space. Difficult kick though. Tight angle, 45 metres and beyond. If he is going to get the job done from out there. He's kicked the one behind, which was a scrambled snap in a pack. Not the most conventional manner with which he would shoot for goal. This is a bit more his style, but as we say, not the easiest of kicks, but it is a beauty. And he gets them on the board. They kick probably their hardest one so far. And they lead it 1-5-11 to 1-2-8. Or 3 behind. Goal number 28 on the season for Richards West. It is a bit of a space job, though, in that he's got 28. The player that's second has 47. And the player out in front, Mullet, has 75. Decent chance to bring up his century in the month of July, which would be a pretty decent effort, with obviously plenty of football still to be played beyond that point as well. Quick kick out, no mark taken there by Maloney, who jumped high for Upwey Tecoma. Can Officer continue to build on what had been a pretty promising start, or will Upwey Tecoma take some momentum here? Forbes got a hand pass away. Over the top, goes towards Oates. Oates with a thumping long kick towards goal, gets it done. And brilliant long strike on the bell. 2-5-17 plays 1-2-8. In that term, goals to Richards West and Oates, and for Officer Hutton got theirs, which was the first goal of the game. So the siren brings all of that action to a close. And a big thank you to our partners as well. Make sure to check out Aidan and Steph on the Outer East Football Netball League Footy Show on the league's Facebook page every Friday at 5 p.m. And a big thank you to our Games Day sponsors: Hillsville Greyhounds, Pettis Suspension and Brakes, Rochford Winery, Project Gap, MS Security, SSA Sports, and of course the crew at Bendigo Bank. Big second quarter, not that far away. It's Second quarter about to get underway. Looking at some of the other scores around the Outer East. Wandon 4-4-28 lead Warri Alec 1-3-9. This is all in Premier. Hillsville 1-6-12 over Emerald 1-1-7. Mount Evelyn 4-5-29 over Gembrook 1-6. And Elvinda Ferny Creek 6-36 over Monbulk 1-3-9 as Officer worked their way forward from the bounce. Gave up 2 goals in the last minute of the first term, having been rock solid up to that point. It's a 9-point margin against them to this point. As we work our way into the early part of the second term, free kick at centre half back to Upwey Tecoma. We'll have a look at Div 1 in a moment. Kick had too much on it there for Mackay pushing out to the wing, and it goes over for a throw in on the bounce. So Officer with a stoppage in their front half, probably 60-65 metres from their goal, trailing by 9. 2-5-17 to 1-2-8. Worked by Upwey Tecoma into the middle of the ground. Mackay was a target there. It's one down. Good hand pass towards Houghton. And over for a throw in again on the far side. Gaines up in the ruck there. Strong tackle put on by Taylor in the middle of the ground, and umpire says prior opportunity. Looked a fairly red-hot call. It's a free kick. Way to come in the middle. They've got some options spreading forward. Wasn't the best of kicks, but it worked out all right for them. Richards West will go inside 50, overcooked the kick. Macaro coming out on a lead. Couldn't get there in time. Kick up towards a contest. Drifting into the front position, there was Campsell, couldn't take the mark. Dinky short little kick towards Maloney. Maloney picks it up, gets the kick away well, finds a target, and Quachu has it. Turns it over, going down towards centre half forward. To the middle of the ground, and another turnover as Cody Orton works it over there. Down towards the pocket and over and out of bounds on the full. So, again, they're creating some chances. Just going to come down to whether they can tidy up their ball use sufficiently, be it in front of goal or just hitting up some of those targets inside. So it's worked all the way to the far side of the ground towards Waters. Turned over again, so having a hard time moving it through the middle of the ground. Opportunity there on the give. Ward fed it off. Long shot at goal. Will fall just a little bit short and give an opportunity to Westra to kick a goal from close range. Opens up the angle, left foot snap is good. And they get the first of the second term as they did in the opening quarter. They've been certainly the stronger of the sides in the early part of this second quarter, and they get some scoreboard reward for that. (2-2-14) plays 2-5-17. Back in the middle. Officer pushing forward. Looking to the early lead potentially in this second term. That goal kicker And Westra sets them up to a dangerous position. They climb high, can't quite pull in the mark. Sheehan at the fall. Neat little kick wide, looking for some options running into space. It trickles over the boundary line. 3 points the margin. Going up there, Atala with a big punch gives you an opportunity there for Burrows, who's immediately caught. They get a couple of extras at the contest. Humpesh tries to go with a dribbly kick. It's turned over again. Officer work it forward. Great mark. Taken by Sam Horton, who's done some nice things in the air through this game. Contender, the MS Security mark of the day. Got a terrific vertical leap. That was just a standing start up in the air over the traffic in front of him. And at the 6-minute mark of the second term, you can have a shot at goal here from about 45 metres, 45-degree angle. Gives himself a little bit of room. Strikes it fairly well just to the left. And one behind, 2-3-15. Plays 2-5-17. He's certainly dangerous in the air if he gets space to jump. Driven down the ground, thumping left foot kick. Mackay, the target, takes the strong mark on the cricket pitch area. Moves it on quickly, got two options streaking forward. Gets through one to the other in Fox. Feeds it over the top, lovely transition. That is a great coast-to-coast passage of play. And Richards West gets his second. Beautiful ball down the middle, which found Mackay very quickly. Had two options in Fox and also Waters streaking inside 50. Fox was then able to feed it over the top. Another hand pass into Richards West. Probably 5 possessions, less than 10 seconds, and they carry it the length of the field to goal. So we had a mark of the day contender at one end and a project gap goal of the day contender. A team goal of the day. The final part of that was the easiest part. Richards West getting his second, strolling into the open goal, but superbly constructed from Upwey Tecoma, who work it forward again. Half forward flank, about 70 from their goal. Umpire calls play on as they drive it forward. Quick give there from Oates. Top of the square. Richards West is dangerous again and he marks. And Oates has done some handy things. He was involved in that passage of play. And Richards West thought about whether he went around the body or goes back for the drop punt. And he'll go back for the drop punt. Kicked 3 last week. Kicked 4 last time these sides met. The 2 that he's got today takes him up to 29 for the season. So lining up for number 30. He would be the 3rd player in the competition to reach that mark this season. And he'll have to wait a tiny bit longer as he misses that to the left-hand side. 3-6-24 to 2-3-15. 2 goals, 2 to Spencer Richards West this afternoon. 9-point lead as it was at quarter time. So 1 goal, 1 apiece in this term. As we said, those scores from the other division in just a moment. It's going to take them a while to fetch that footy, so we'll cue those up. Packing them all over Powelltown, 9-5-59 to no score. In the second quarter of their game, thumping kick down the middle there from Snooks. It clears several sets of hands. Splitting the pack there was Westra, but they went without the footy. The hand pass, a little bit risky. That was a nice little knock on. Cleverly done there by DeSantis. Here is Oates, though, strolling through the traffic, heading back into the forward line, looking for Picaro, who used the body well. It's socket off the ground. Picaro keeps it alive for the moment. Dispossessed. Richards West lays the tackle. And the umpire looks like he wants to pay holding the ball, and he does. And that felt a little bit harsh. Richards West wastes no time and kicks the goal. Goal umpire got himself into a complete tangle there. Nearly fell over, shades of the 1966 Grand Final, but Richards West gets his third. Perhaps a touch fortunate there. 3 goals, 2 for him. 4-6-30. Plays 2-3-15. Yay, 5-5-35. Leave Yarra Junction 1 behind. Belgrave 5-6-36 over Yarra Glen 2 straight 12. Would be an upset of sort. Belgrave in good form. Alexandra 2-3-15 over Seville 2-1-13. Belgrave with a strong result last week as they build nicely into their season. Yarra Glen trying to put pressure on that top group just in the last couple of weeks have probably lost some of their best form, sitting at 5-4 in that division right now. Could be a big day for Spencer Richards West. 5 shots at goal, 3 goals, 2. 10 minutes into the second term. Mackay tries to feed that one down in the ruck, picked up there by Gaines. Hand pass out to Hutton. Hutton sat it up to centre half forward. Officers' pressure good here, but Upwey Tecoma are up to that challenge. Forbes goes forward. Anthony showed courage to get across and get a hand on it and help it over for a throw-in. Melbourne tightening the gap on the Gold Coast. Suns 8-10-58. The D is 6-4-40. 18-point game there. Mackay takes it out of the ruck for Upwey Tecoma and just held it a little bit too long. That, strictly speaking, not a rule anymore, but if you've got it that long and there's deemed to be a prior, then that's generally the way it's going to go. Driven forward, punched off hands. Seedsman out on the lead, who's been fairly well contained so far. Right on cue, the Gold Coast answered that goal to Melbourne, so it's back out to 24 points. Mackay unopposed in the ruck there. Gets a bit of support from Murray, who took a long time to get rid of it, and too long. So it's an officer ball, who face a game-high deficit of 15 points without necessarily being outplayed to this point. Tight angle for this kick. 40 metres out. Struck it pretty well. And they get it home. Excellent finish. And just what they needed after giving up the last couple. Close the margin back to that quarter-time deficit of 9 points. 3-3-21 now to 4-6-30. Marks getting the job done. 3-3-21 to 4-6-30. Upwey Tecoma quickly back into their work. Outside of the boot there from Anthony. Coming past DeSantis, receives the hand pass. They've got options there, running onto it, streaking towards the open goal and driving through another one. Ashley Allen. Back-to-back goals. 3-point contest. A bit of an arm wrestle in that first term, but certainly opening right up here in the second. 4-3-27. Plays 4-6-30. All singles for Officer on the scoreboard. Richards West with 3 of Upwey Tecoma's 4 goals. 14 minutes, second term. Another risky hand pass, coughing it up to Santos. Done some nice things in the last few minutes. Will streak towards goal. In the end, sort of a half pass, half shot that bounces across the face for a throw-in. That would have given them a pretty decent lift in the crowd had he been able to jag that one through. Mackay takes it out of the ruck but kicks it straight up in the air. Officer in position there. Anthony, who's been involved a couple of times. Kick out mark taken again. This Officer build from about 70. And they get a mark here in the pack. I reckon they have. It's been hauled in there by Ward, who was the middle, the meat in the sandwich. He had a player in front of him and a player behind him. And on the second grab, he brings it down. This for the lead and for their 4th goal of the term and 3rd in a row. Steady on the approach and just pushes it across to the right-hand side. 2-point game, 4-4-28, plays 4-6-30. Kick in, had to be precise. Jackson Waters pushing up to mark it. 30 out from the goal, he's defending. Pulls the kick in the Burrows direction. Just lost sight of it in the air a little bit. And Gaines happy to see that one out of play. Quick kick out of there from Ashley Allen, who kicked that last goal. It's fed over the top. Couldn't quite keep it in play there was Hutton from Maloney. Toss back in. DeSantis to Ward. Clever little knockdown. Got an option here in the pocket. They'll snap it back to the top of the square. Mark not taken inside the field of play there. It was Maloney trying to feed it to Seedsman. 17 and a quarter minutes in this term. Pushing for the lead here late in the second quarter. Scramble of players and we'll have another bounce. And another bounce. Quick kick out of there from Upwey Tecoma. Comes a question of the bounce. Anthony kept it in play for a second, then just stepped over the line. Ground bathed in sunshine now. Terrific conditions for footy. Lovely feed out there towards Allen. Goes inside 50. Nathan Allen and finds a target. And another chance to kick for the lead. This time it's going to be Valentine. A couple of changes here for Officer, and also coming back out onto the ground for Upwey Tecoma is Cody Maloney. And Valentine on the approach, kicks the goal. And I think the umpire was going to pay a 50-metre penalty. He just wants to make sure that went through. And it is. Of course, it comes down to the need for the all clear, but it's pretty obvious in their celebrations that it had gone through, but there was definitely a whistle as the ball hit the boot, which makes me think they were going to pay a 50-metre penalty for someone getting into the protected area. But obviously that's not required if the ball's gone through for a goal. Officer 5-4-34. Upwey Tecoma 4-6-30. 4-point ball game. Officer with the last 3 goals of the game, having trailed by 15 points about 6 minutes ago. Sheehan, a very clever kick out of there for Upwey Tecoma. Just to clear traffic for a moment, but it's tied up in there and we'll have a bounce. Just forward of the centre circle into the time on period in this quarter. Paddled out towards the boundary line. Good attack on it there from Tyler Johnson, who's tied up, and we'll have a bounce. Almost in the, probably a bit of half 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It was almost in the back, almost dove on it. Umpire paid neither. Tala, the player at the bottom of that pack, who now takes the ruck, wins the tap. Good strength there from Gamley to try to wrestle it out of it. Tala feeds it down to Oates, gets onto his left foot. Handy kick, well done there from Richards West to flick it into the path of Mackay, but the boundary line beat him, and it's over for a throw in. 21, nearly 22 minutes in the term. Lovely piece of roving there, front and centre from Picaro, but sprays the kick out of bounds on the full. Climbing high there was Houghton again, who done some terrific work in the air. A good tackle from Ward at the foot of it. Houghton with the roving this time. Brought to ground in the tackle and holding it. Costas. Captain wins the free kick for holding the ball, goes to a dangerous position. Great spoil from Anthony, and climbed high, coming through the middle of the ground. There will be West. Plenty of distance on the kick, but it's all Upwey Tecoma there as Waterman and Smith try to get that ball moving back the other way. Quatch is in the vicinity, lays a tackle now. 23 minutes, second quarter. So we have an officer player coming off the ground in the hands of the trainer. Looking a little bit ginger. Get a little bit of treatment probably at halftime, and that's Anthony, who we saw fly extremely high, like a good old-fashioned corky. Kicked out towards the top of the square, trickling over for a behind. Officer 5-5-35, Upwey Tecoma 4-6-30. Short ball to Forbes. Maloney. Quick kick out of there from Gaines to half forward, turned over. Drives it down the line. Mackay takes a good grab. Good strong lead from Richards West is rewarded. Moves it on quickly. Got players streaking inside 50. One-on-one contest. Honey did well to bring it to ground. Looping through the middle. Camsel's there. Into the middle of the ground. Quatch did well. Spins. Drives to half forward. Should find a target and does. Really good movement of the footy. And this would really top off the half. A man who's been fairly quiet up to this point, but an important part of their plans in Seedsman. Kicked 19 goals for the season to lead all comers for his side. Lines up here from 40 metres out. Slight angle. Good kick, and it's another one. Sixth individual goal scorer and the fourth in a row for the home side. It was 2-3 to 4-6. It's now 6-5 to 4-6. So 4 goals, 2 to no score in about 15 minutes. And they lead it by 11, 6-5-41 to 4-6-30. Sheehan just missed on the hand pass. Quatch feeds that one through towards Gaines. And we'll have another stoppage here. Centre half forward. We're reaching 26 minutes in the quarter. Sheehan's kick smothered. Quatch immediately caught. No prior opportunity. Houghton at the fall. He's not happy. He feels he's been caught high a couple of times at the bottom of that pack. That was probably more residual frustration from the last one. We'll do it again here. Mackay goes back after it, gets the hand pass to Burrows. Selling a little bit of candy, but turned over on the hand pass. West picks it up quickly onto the boot. Good reading of the play there by Hutchian to keep it in front of him. Bouncing ball down towards the square here. Quick dinky kick into an open goal, another one. I just willed it forward. It was Westra the first time, and then Maloney, the third link in that chain, able to run in and kick their fifth in a row. "28 minutes in this term. "7-5-47 plays 4-6-30. Mackay sending them forward. Judge West splits the pack, couldn't take the mark. Oates charging onto it, couldn't quite get through, and we'll have a ball up. Atala, lovely tap into the open goal. Classic work there. Picaro finishes. They've kicked 2 absolutely textbook goals in this quarter. Upwey Tecoma, one from a kick in, perfectly executed, and that one, Ruckman to the rover, running full tilt past the contest into the open goal. And Picaro, who kicked 3 last week, gets his first here, and they break a run of 5 consecutive goals against them. 7-5-47 plays 5-6-30, 6:29 minutes second term. Drives the kick to centre half forward. It gets over the back. Maloney didn't quite receive the hand pass. It goes back in his direction, steps through, breaks one tackle, breaks the second as well. Loops the hand pass in, but that will be all she wrote. A very good quarter of football from the home side, who trailed by 15 points, led by as much as 17 after kicking 5 consecutive goals. For Upwey Tecoma, jagged one late just to snap that run of momentum. It's 7-5-47 to 5-6-36. Goals to Officer to Siegeman, Marks, Allen, Hutton, Maloney, Westra and Valentine. And for Upwey Tecoma, 3 to Richards West, singles to Picaro and Oates. It is 11 points the difference at the main change. And a big thank you to our game day sponsors, Hillsville Greyhounds, Petters Suspension and Brakes, Rochford Winery, Project Gap, MS Security, SSA Sports, and of course Bendigo Bank. And if you want your game filmed, special milestone, women's footy, finals, whatever it may be, for just $300 plus GST, you can get your match filmed. Contact Gameface Vision. For more information, we'll take a break. Big second half to come. Second half about to get underway. 11-point lead to the home side. Big second term for them. Kicking 5 in a row at 1 point, but Upwey Tecoma with the last goal of the first half to potentially just swing that momentum late. Marks absorbs the tackle and forces the stoppage around the grounds in the Gold Coast. The Suns 14-11-95 lead Melbourne 7-7-49. I'll give you updates from Div 1 and Premier in the outer east as well. Ball here with Officer on the half-back flank. Snooks chips it centrally, finds a target. The long ball there from Zhong down towards the wing position. 2-on-2s further afield. Honey got a hand pass in there. It's fed back to him on a 1-2. Wobbly ball inside 50. Front and centre there from Quash, who his hand pass cut off. One back again here by Upwey Tecoma. Left foot kick down the line. Standing in the way there was West. Got enough body on that to make a contest. Picaro pushing up, gathers, works it into a little bit of space. Just a little fumble allowed time for Officer to come in and close that down, and also for the umpire to deem that there was a prior opportunity. Pakenham 12-10-82 lead Powelltown 3-4-22. Dangerous kick across goal there from Officer, and it brings the man into the game. Richards West, who so influential in that first half. Yay 15-6-96, Yarra Junction 2 behinds. Belgrave 6-10-46, Yarra Glen 7-2-44. As the goal is converted, Alexandra 5-5-35, Seville 4-3-27, and here live, it is 7-5-47 to Officer 6-6-42. Upwey Tecoma 4-2 for Richards West out of his team's 6-6 to this stage. Looking at the rest of the Premier fixtures as well. Wandon 10-9-69, lead Warrior Alex 7-6-48. Healesville 6-6-42, Emerald 3-2-20, Mount Evelyn 13-9-87 over Gembrook 1-1-7, and Olinda Ferny Creek 8-7-55 over Monbulk 1-4-10. Back in the middle, Upwey Tecoma within a kick. Back-to-back goals, one either side of half-time. They'll go inside 50 again. Waters dribbly kick down there. And they force a stoppage inside 50. Fed backwards there by Waters. And towards the pocket, off hands and over for a throw in. Quick kick forward, and they've taken another strong contested mark in a difficult position, but starting to take chances from this sort of range. We saw it late in the first term with their opening goal of the game. And then we saw Officer a couple of times in the second quarter do similar. That one's pushing close to goal and touched through for one behind. 6-7 plays 7-5. Back to 4 points as they move it on quickly from the kick in. Officer Snooks takes a couple of bounces, thumps it down towards the wing. A one-on-one there, front and centre was Ward. Works it nicely forward. They've got it here about 80 from home. Centering kick now towards a one-on-one's a good ball and a good mark taken here by Gaines. Man on the mark, basically right on 50. Looks for an option on the lead. Kick falls short. Sheehan in the right position takes the mark. Plenty of height on that kick. Showed a bit of it to the opposition. Just long enough for them to be able to bring it to ground. Hutton put some good pressure on it. Worked inboard there towards Horton. Now Snooks pushing a long way up from defence with a flying shot at goal, and it's a beauty. 8 individual goal scorers across their 8 majors so far. And the important answer, just as momentum was starting to go the other way, it's 8-5-53 to 6-7-43. Sheehan. Probably had close to 20 possessions to this stage of the game. Goes inside 50, looking for a push there was Picaro, and a late call from the umpire, but that is the call. Right behind the kick. Kick the goal on the halftime siren. Lovely bit of roving from a forward stoppage. That's a nice looking kick. Through it goes for his second. Just the second multiple goal scorer in the game. 8-5-53 plays 7-7-49. 2 goals, 1 to 1 straight in this quarter. Quick kick forward again here from Upwey Tecoma, but good mark taking front position there. And they feed it to the halfback flank. Climbing higher there was Horton, but had too much for him even with his vertical leap. Good hands in close as they share it around. They've got it in the middle. They try to feed it in towards Allen. It drops a little bit short of that. Gains instead. Neat kick forward finds Westra, who's got it about 65 from home. Little 1-2 on the hand pass. Kicks off a step. Horton gets one hand to it. Keeps it in front of himself to Allen. Kicks off a standing start. No mark, but it does keep the ball in front there of Mybus down towards the top of the square. Just getting rid of it, and the umpire said not an effective disposal. And a free kick. Top of the defensive goal square. 8.5 minutes in the term. High helicopter kick out. Anthony back on the ground after that corky in the second term. Allen feeds it wide to Mybus. West trying to wrestle against a couple. Quick kick forward, just stepped over the boundary line in the process.
Come on, Rock.
Good strength in the ruck there from Mackay. Quick kick forward, playing in front. It might have been touched off the boot of Tala. Went towards Oates to half forward. Finds Macaro. Just kicked a couple. Long ball down towards the square. And the mark is paid. Daniel Waters moves it on quickly. Kicks the goal. And they take the lead. Three goals to one in the term. Back-to-back goals as well. Approaching the 10-minute mark of the term, they take the lead 8-7-55 to 8-5-53. Quick hand pass over the top to Allen. Lovely quick give again. Watch just gets the hand pass away. They concede a bit of territory. They should still be able to take possession here. Not the kindest of bounces. Good work just getting a boot on it to keep it in front. DeSantis with a nice give back. And in the end, not a bad result for both sides. Back out onto the ground. Zhong here for Officer will take the ruck. That's stepped straight back towards the boundary.
Come on, Rock.
Important ball to be won. Stalemate there, Sheehan putting himself in the way. Ball bounces on its end. It comes through towards Allen. Snaps it long towards the pocket. Tecoma do well to keep it in front. Neat ball forward. If it stays in play, Officer will suit them. It's just gone over the boundary line. Of course, there are those two lines down there, the blue and the white. The white officially the boundary. Allen had a lot of possessions in the last few minutes. That one's effective. Finds Horton, who takes the mark in the front position. Can they get the next in this exchange? It's a one-on-one. Burrows front and centre. Comes out here towards Murray. They straighten up, bring it outside defensive 50. Important ball. And they will lock it up for a stoppage here at the 12.5-minute mark of the third. Quatch out towards Snooks, who goes to the pocket, punched away, and out of bounds on the full So it will be Upwey Tecoma's ball underneath the scoreboard in the back pocket. Switching across well. Got a couple of longer options here. Instead they go towards Smith in the pocket. Now Waterman in the vicinity. It's going to be a 50-metre penalty. He'll get advanced down the ground. Chips it into the middle. Sweeps it over the top here towards Costas. The skipper, good vision. Saw an option out wide. Officer just doing enough to put some pressure on. Picaro towards Oates. Hand pass partially smothered. He'll go back and get it again. Squeezes a kick towards goal. And it's away to the left-hand side. But it'll be come back to the initial contest where it'll be a free kick to Officer at centre half back. So it won't be a score. Honey has it. Concedes a little bit of territory. Now the long kick will go to the wing. That'll take some marking. Didn't do a lot of favours to his teammate there. Maloney was the one in best position. Oates will have another crack at it. It's a harder kick, but it's a better kick as well. And he gets his second goal. The back and forth, the swings in this game. 9-7-61 to 8-5-53. 8 points the margin. Ball back in the middle. Works out towards the wing position, tracking onto it. Mibus. Well weighted kick out to the boundary side. The umpire hasn't paid the mark. .50 ball on the wing. Burrows involved there. It comes back towards Mackay. There's another whistle. Free kick to Officer. It's their turn to have to try to rein in an opposition run on. It's 3 goals in a row for Upwey Tecoma. Ball at centre half forward just outside 50. We'll have about 16 minutes into the term. Paddled forward towards Oates, who's kicked a couple of goals, one in the first, one in the third. Takes the body there, helps it over for a throw-in. Good clearance through towards Snooks, who's kicked a goal in this quarter. Drew a player, went by hand. And good delivery inside 50. That's a nice passage of play. How can they get the next option? They pull in the mark with the one hand. Ashley Allen, who kicked a goal on the run in the second term, can go back and have a shot. And they need this just to turn the wheel ever so slightly back the other way and draw them within a couple of points. Kick is pushing out to the right hand side. 1 goal, 1 on his afternoon. 8-6-54. Plays 9-7-61. Worked up the middle of the ground. Chesney called to play on. Thumps it long in the Oates direction, takes a nice mark, then breaks the tackle. Runs to 55, draws the hand pass over the top. It was partially smothered. The snap back to the goal square. They've got a 2-on-1 down there. They almost haul it in. Quick snap towards goal, and I reckon they've got it there. That's 5. Richards West didn't quite take the mark, but had the wherewithal at ground level to quickly get boot to ball. Could have tried to turn back inside, but had half a sniff. And that's 5 goals, 2 on his afternoon. 10-7-67, plays 8-6-54. Taken out of there by Gamley. Hand pass, just a little bit shallow. Comes to Ward, who goes inside 50. Kick, drop between a couple. Can they keep this in play? They can. Slides it back towards the top of the square. Mark not taken, or not paid. Westra had most of it. Ward trying to keep that in play. Squeezing a kick towards Chesney. Out towards the half-back line. They've got a 3-on-1 here. Officer, if it hits the deck, they should be able to send it back inside. It was Horton there who was under pressure. Holding free kick will go their way. About to hit time on in the term. Man on the mark here at about 50. Short kick in. Horton has it again. Kicks into the player on the mark. Got it back though on the bounce. Went towards Ashley Allen. Kept it in front of himself. Just got the hand pass away. Trying to surge it forward any way they can. They get a bounce 35 metres from their goal. They trail by 13 points. Squeezes a left foot kick forward, intercept by Hutchian. Goes and finds Waterman in the back pocket. Right up against the boundary line, back pocket, 21 minutes in the term. Full dive there from Snooks, one of those awkward ones. Do you let it bounce or do you dive like he did there? It didn't get through though, and could have been worse had that have sort of tunnel balled through and gave them a chance to run onto it. Atala in the ruck, fed forward Mackay, hand pass Chesney, getting a bit of it in this term. Finds Richards West on the lead. And Richards West gesturing, and he's going to have a ping. Gives that a decent ride. Has it got the carry? It's touched off hands. And one behind. 10-8-68. Plays 8-6-54. 22 minutes in the third quarter. Short ball to West. West done some nice things. Runs around the player on the mark. Wobbly kick forward. Looking for Valentine. That was cleverly done. Fed down the line. Good hand pass there from Maloney towards Horton. Nice passage of play, and they hit a target. That was clinical ball movement, and it worked out well. Seedsman can line up for his second. Need to kick the next goal on the balance of how this game has gone. Seedsman will kick from about 50. Plenty of distance, pushes it out to the right. He has 1 goal, 8-7-55. Plays 10-8-68, 23 and a half minutes third term. All this for Hillsville Greyhounds on the Petters suspension and break scoreboard. Short kick finds Forbes. Strong kick down the line. There is Richards West again. Centering kick ill-directed. Goes to his opposite number. Snooks will float it out into the path of Allen. Little 1-2 there with Honey. Chips into centre half forward, but Burrows got in the front position to take the intercept. Bit of a nothing kick. Lands in between 3 players. Riding the bump, doing it beautifully. As they straighten up. Up at long, good mark. Taken there by Quatch. Is he going to back himself in to ping it from here? Looks like he's confident enough to give himself a chance. They trail by 13, 25 minutes, and caught them napping. Everybody thought he was having the shot, and they just had a player 15 metres closer to goal. Drop into a little pocket. That player is Marks, who can line up for his second. Here's another important kick as they try to bring the margin back into single digits. Good strike, just missed. 1 goal, 2. And that will be all she wrote. A 2-goal game at 3/4 time. 8-8-56. Plays 10-8-68. Goals to Seedsman, Snooks, Marks, Allen, Hutton, Maloney, Westra and Valentine for Officer. For Upwey Tecoma, 5 to Richards West, 2 to Bacaro and Oates. And 1 goal in that quarter, also kicked by Waters. And that draws a 12-point advantage, 10-8-68 to 8-8-56 at 3/4 time. Big last term to come. Reminder, if you want to get your game filmed, contact Game Face Vision, and packages available from $300. Big last quarter to come. Can Officer overcome this 12-point deficit, or will Upwey Tecoma keep themselves in touch with the 4, leading it currently by 12 points? Last quarter set to get underway. We'll give you around the ground scores from Premier and Div 1. Upwey Tecoma here leading by 12 points going into the final change. They led by 9 at quarter time, trailed by 11 at half time, and lead it by 12 now. Wandon 14-9-93 lead Warrior Ellick 10-8-68. Hillsville 8-11-59 over Emerald 4-5-29. Couple more scores in a moment. Gains in the ruck there for Officer, but Upwey Tecoma win the clearance inside 50, looking for Picaro, who's given them plenty in the second half so far. Atala back towards the top of the square. Front position there was Richards West. Couldn't quite take the mark. They follow it out well, and Waters gets his second goal as well with a lovely front and centre snap. And they immediately push it out to an 18-point game. 11-8-74 to 8-8-56. Mount Evelyn 16-11-107 all over Gembrook 139. Alinda Ferny Creek 10-9-69 over Monbulk 3-10-28. So we'll look at the Div 1 scores as well. There were some one-sided games in there. Pakenham well on top of Powelltown, but a summary of those in a moment. Officer needing a goal as they go forward. Quatch good hands. They can't quite gather it cleanly. They did pretty well there via Forbes to win it out. It's taken here by Maloney, who goes across the goals. Dangerous kick. Looking for Smith. Ashley Allen was there. Good tackle. And walked over for a throw-in. Pakenham, or for a bounce rather. Pakenham 17-11-113. Powelltown 5-6-36. Yay 19-8-122 over Yarra Junction 2-2-14. Belgrave 11-11-77. Lead Yarra Glen 9-6-60. Alexandra 9-7-61 over Seville 5-4-34. Into the open goal. Officer get the immediate answer that they needed. Honey getting himself into that front and centre position. And the quick snap. So almost identical goals really won it each end of the ground in the first 4 minutes. As Valentine becomes his team's first multiple goal scorer. Kick one in the second and one here in the last. 9-8-62. Plays 11-8-74. Watch in the middle. Allen steps through a bit of traffic. Drives it in the direction there of Seedsman. Coming out, Ashley Allen on the bounce. Victory to the Gold Coast by 19 points over Melbourne, who finished fairly strongly. The Suns led that game by upwards of 40 points early in the second quarter, and again by 42 at three-quarter time. Quick give in there from Sheehan. Oates follows it up. Over for a throw-in. So 3 minutes in the term. 1 goal each, as we were at three-quarter time. Flying shot at goal has got there. That's 2 stoppage goals they've scrambled in the space of 90 seconds. Ashley Allen with the quick release. And 10-8-68 plays 11-8-74. Just as it looked like it was sneaking away from them. Upwey Tecoma had their biggest lead of the game at 18 points less than 3 minutes ago. It's now back within a kick. It's been a game that has swung back and forth. Just losing his footing there was Quatch as he was about to run onto the loose ball. It's fed wide to Chesney, who's got it. Sheehan now. Such a promising player for them. Long down the line, one-on-one's there, good mark. On the second bite taken by Waters. So Daniel Waters goes towards the man of the moment who takes the mark. Richards West will line up for number 6. Now we're thinking drop, punt or snap. It looks like snap. Opens up the angle and curls it too far. 5 goals, 4 for Richards West, and the margin is 7 points. Kick down the middle. Had to be precise, and it was. Finds Nathan Allen. Good kick to the lead. Horton jumps up and takes the mark. Usually a pretty safe target. Centre half forward with the kick. It carries over the pack. Valentine having an impact. Just missed that one on the bounce. It comes through here towards Marks. Snaps it back towards the top of the square. The bounce is important. It just holds up, stays in play. Smith receives the kick in the pocket. Got an option over the top. Mackay hasn't been the goal kicker that he can be, but has certainly been lively in the ruck, moving around the ground. Switches back to Smith. Tight kick into the pocket, and I reckon he's kicked it out in the full. The goal umpire signalling as such. Boundary umpire was trailing a fair way back, but the goal umpire on the line, and that is a big turnover. Opens up the angle and kicks the goal. 3 in a row. Westra gets his second as well. 11-8, 74, plays 11-9, 75. 1 point ball game. Sheehan. Kick doesn't go far. Just pokes into the middle of the ground. Good vision into Mackay. The big man with the strength takes the mark. Sets the kick up and finds Waters. Kicked a couple of goals in the second half. Low darting ball to Sheehan, who slides in and marks it low to the ground. Kicks towards the leading target. Baccaro, good grab on the second bite. My Baccaro's kick 2. Man of the mark is on 50. We saw him stride back with purpose and kick one to within about a metre of the line in the second quarter. Looking for his own third goal. Taking plenty of time. Has thumped it. And it's marked in the field of play. And Richards West there flirting with having that one reversed. So he's going to go around the body again here. He hooked the last one too far. This is a harder kick. Steps inside the field of play and strikes that beautifully. Number 6, he's kicked half his team's score, 12-9-81 to 11-8-74. 6 goals, 4. There's Richards West proving the difference, up to 33 goals on the season now. Sits third in the competition. We've already had 5 goals kicked in this quarter. Only been travelling 9.5 minutes. 7 point lead, important goal for the visitors there. Play on's the call in the ruck. Dribbles the kick forward. Horton, like he was held without the footy. Going back in after it. Clever underground hand pass there from Pumpek. Good hands, fed out the back towards Murray. Richards West gets the hand pass towards Atala, who slipped over it in an opportune moment. Richards West goes off the ground. Clever give. Horton to Allen. Important they control the ball here. They didn't give the free kick away. They were able to get the hand pass out of Atala, now wrapped up at centre half back. Quick kick. Probably hasn't gone the required distance, even if it's held down there. They've got the numbers. Squeezing the kick down towards the wing. Over for a throw in front of Maloney. So right on the wing position. Costas brought to ground. And we'll have a bounce. 11 minutes. West quickly onto the boot. Plenty of carry on that kick. Bounces inside 50, making a beeline for it. Down there is Stokes. Left it behind. Quick snap. Maloney hits the bottom of the post. Right on the bottom of that right-hand goal post. He might get another crack at it here, Maloney. Got hands to it, couldn't take the mark. Kick inboard. The vision was okay, but the execution, it didn't match that. 1 goal game at a score check, 11-9 to 12-9. Short ball down the middle, finds Burrows. Kicks towards Mackay, got the height advantage and takes the mark. Even goal game. Both these sides have played a draw this season. Chance they can each snag a second draw of the year game on the line. Mackay unopposed in the ruck there and could have made a little bit more of it. One-on-ones down on the wing, and we have a boundary throw in this quarter. 3 goals, 1 to Officer, 2 goals, 1 to Upwey Tecoma. A 2-goal margin has become a 1-goal margin. Punched out of there by Costas. And just for the moment, the game tightens up a little bit. 4 minutes of an arm wrestle after a free-flowing first 9 minutes. It saw 5 goals kicked. Good clearance here. Horton with a thumping kick up towards attacking 50. Now who engaged first in that hold? It's deemed that it'll be an Upwey Tecoma ball. It'll go against Valentine. Mackay again, the aerial target there. It gets over the back to Oates. Thought about the hand pass, then opted to kick instead. Back to Atala. Very nice kick, although half volleyed a teammate there. Back to Picaro, who left it behind. And that was a little bit crude from West. Gave a free kick away when they really didn't need to. Picaro to the pocket. Richards West is down there, and it doesn't matter the mark. It's taken. Chesney coming in from the side. And that's perhaps the panic caused by Richard West's dominance in this game, that 2 go to him, which gave Chesney an unopposed run at the footy. Another very important kick, 35 metres out. Slight angle. Not ideal for a left footer, and it doesn't register. So the margin stays at 1 goal. So they'll play on from this return ball into the field of play. Good contest. Mark almost hauled down there by Gaines. Atala with a nice knock on. Gambley a high snap. Mackay waits underneath it. They're able to bring it to ground on him this time. Probably needed to just hang on to the footy there, not give it out, because it put pressure on them with Fox in the vicinity. Quick kick out to the half-back flank. And DeSantis charging after it. Really important that he controls it out there. That's not a bad result to get a throw in at the 15.5-minute mark.
I'll sit down.
No, you can stand up.
Boundary throw in down there. Oates takes it out of there. Quick snap into the middle. Houghton's got it. Fairly open field. Up the ground. Good mark taken at centre half forward. Here by Westra, who's kicked a couple. Another huge one-on-one. Has it been marked? I think it hit the deck.
He's only joking. I'm serious. We don't know him.
Punched closer to goal and over for a throw, for a rush behind, which makes it a 5-point game. Puts them within a kick. 11-10 to 12-9. 16 and a half minutes. Now within a kick of the lead. Smith comes out at it, takes the mark. Chips into the middle, Mackay. Short to Waters, plays on. Richards West is there. They had 3 opposed to him this time. They were able to bring it to ground. That's a very risky kick across goal. Can they get there and put the pressure on? The pass is curled back in. That was a lovely 1-2. Now the flying shot at goal is there. Maloney did it superbly to get that one to Waters, who then went around the body on the right and puts the margin back out to 11, 13-9, 87 to 11-10, 76. 3 goals apiece in the quarter. Pressure back on Officer, who need the immediate response. And pass into the middle of the ground. Allen gets it off quickly. It's a good kick forward if they can keep their feet. They're a chance here. Westra tracking onto it, needs some support. Mybus keeps it in play. Concedes a bit of ground, and that's okay. Finds Hutton, who's got it. Gets the leading option and finds a target. And this becomes a crucial kick as we approach time on in the last term. Trailing by 11 points. Nathan Allen. Looks good. And he gets it there. Again, they find the answer, and again, they're within a kick. 12-10, 82 to 13-9, 87. 4 goals to 3. High scoring last quarter so far. Back in the middle, important. Every one of these stoppages. Taken here by Snook, who's running across his defensive goal. Goes back. The way drives up the line looking for Allen, but overcooked it. Mackay wobbles it towards the top of the square. It's punched over the boundary line. Probably had time to take the mark. Toss back into play. Picaro feeds the hand pass back, and he do it again. Waters just pulls the kick too far and one behind, and it's a 1-kick game again. 13-10. to 12-10. Nearly 21 minutes. Short kick into Honey, gets through one defender, takes a second bounce, sweeps a risky hand pass up towards his intended target there in Horton, but couldn't get there. Mackay wins the tap. Oates towards Pumpeka, goes to centre half forward. Atala. It's it back to him, down towards Richards West. Got rid of his opponent. Hand pass back looking for Waters. And the behind is conceded, but it is an important one. Makes it 7 points, 13-11 to 12-10. 21 and a half minutes. Horton up, couldn't take the mark. At the full, Stokes drives it inside 50 and finds the target. Oates can line up for his own third. Kicks from 40 directly in front and misses. 8 point game. Short kick in, finds Campsell, gets it off quickly. They'll put it down towards the wing. Another key ball to be won here. Burrows tied up and he's going to get penalised. Maloney. Mark taken by Waterman. Probably 4 minutes or so left in the game based on the opening 3 quarters and the length of time. Gamley has it. Richards West couldn't haul in the mark, but lays the tackle that ties it in the area. Gaines. Quatch, and now Ward. Becomes a foot race out there. And eventually traps it. Surrounded, brought to ground, and we'll have a bounce centre half forward. Officer need to get something from this. Nearly 24 gone. Free kick plucked out of there to Mackay. Not sure exactly what that was for, and a penalty as well, so assume that was for some lip or a bit of descent in the middle of the ground. Mackay's kick finds a target. Target of that kick was Waters, goes off hands and over the boundary line. West, it's the hand pass forward. Picaro brought to ground in a tackle. And precious seconds eke away. Just thumps it up the middle of the ground. Becomes a foot race. Totally open forward line ahead. Not a great bounce for Valentine trying to get back on it. It's a key win there for Tecoma. He felt that was the moment. Pops it over the top. Mark taken. They can settle it down. 25.5 minutes. Burrowing through there is Oates to Waters. Hand pass here towards Picaro. Gets the hand pass away. Kick smothered. Close to the line. Kept in play. Richards West on the ground. Trying to will it through from the line. Picaro does just that. Kicks what will be the ceiling goal. 14-point lead. I think insurmountable at this stage. 14-12, 96 to 12-10, 82. Picaro's got 3. Nearly 27 minutes gone. Oates roves it, caught, brought to ground. Mackay takes it out of the ruck, snaps it forward on the bounce, over for a throw-in. In fact, he's paid insufficient intent by the looks of it. Outside of the boot here from Officer West, full length dive, and it goes over the line for a throw in. Tired bodies at this stage. Costas through here to Allen. Good ball forward. Seedsman goes inside 50, the siren sounds. Hard fought victory. Good game of footy, Upwey Tecoma. Get it done. 4 goals 4 to 4 goals 2 in the last term. And they hold on by 14 points to go 4-6-1 on the season and to stay in touch with that top 4 pack ahead of them. 14-12, 96 to 12-10, 82. Richards West has kicked 6, Picaro 3, Jackson Waters and Bailey Oates with 2, and Daniel Waters with 1. For Officer 2 each to Ashley Allen, Westra and Valentine. Singles to Seedsman, Nathan Allen, Snooks, Marks, Hutton and Maloney. 14-12, 96 to Upwey Tecoma, 12-10, 82 to Officer. 14 points, the end result. At the end of a very good game of football. Big thank you to our major sponsors, Hillsville Greyhounds, Pettis Suspension and Brakes, Rochford Winery, Project Gap, MS Security, GSA Sports and Bendigo Bank. And welcome to Ready Recovery, who have joined the local footy hub as a new sponsor for the remainder of the 2025 season. Great to have them involved. And head to that local footy hub to watch all the replays and live streams from the Outer Eastern Football Netball League. Thank you for tuning in here at Officer. Been a terrific game of footy. It is Upwey Tecoma getting the job done by 14 points to stay in touch with the race for the finals. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you again next week.
He had all the teams to go.